Okay, hey, I am back to discuss the third turn, I guess, of the game. Or I guess the results of the second turn. I don't know how you count it. The end of autumn 1901, and yeah. Uh, when I recorded last, it was before autumn '01 moves were locked in. I was feeling excited, if a bit like I wasn't overly sure that things was gonna go well, but I was looking forward to my turn because I thought I had some interesting things cooking. It ended up being more difficult than I wanted it to. As I think I mentioned last time, I had this thing where I wanted to get into München unopposed, by basically manipulating what I said to Germany to sound plausible, and at the same time going to France and being like, "Hey, I'm just gonna go into Munich. I'm probably gonna get bounced, but you know, you do your own thing." But Germany ended up asking way more questions than I thought they would, and that's fair. Like that's really fair, of course. I'm not blaming the player there. I think that they should have. But that did mean that my story got worse and worse, and I felt worse and worse about doing the play I was gonna do. France was also basically locked in on being like, "Hey, I'll just support you into Munich." But I did not want that. Why did I not want that? Well, because first of all, it would make it harder to pull off my lie that this just happened by accident. But it also meant that the French unit wouldn't be there to blockade Belgium. Or take Belgium, which is what I would have preferred happened. But I did, at the end, finally manage to get basically exactly what I wanted. I told France, like, "Hey, because of reasons where you have to lie to Austria and blah blah blah, actually it would be better if you aren't seen helping me get into Munich. Instead, you just focus on getting Belgium or London. That's fine by me. That'd be better." And France did go along with that. I didn't really explain why. I guess I gave some vague reasons of like I needed Austria to still be my friend. And that's true. I did need that. But obviously, me still needing Austria to be my friend is a fair few leaps of logic away from this is why you can't support me into Munich. But again, our conversation was more complicated than that, and basically just ended up with the fact that I got exactly what I wanted from the French and German movements. They moved almost exactly like I thought they would. Germany was going to take the free center in Holland that they could get as long as they had an agreement with England. And they were going to try to take Belgium because as far as they knew, the Burgundies unit was going to go toward Munich. And there was a decent chance that the French fleet in the English Channel was go towards London, so maybe Germany could just take Belgium if things went right. So they did, yeah, exactly what I thought they would. France, I guess they moved from Spain to Portugal. As far as I know, that doesn't really matter. I guess it's slightly better because that means that on its return trip it'll be quicker. But whatever, that unit is just so fucking dead. It was probably a misplay by France to not take both of the Iberian centers by 1901. The spring movements must have, was probably just a mistake. But whatever, that's not here nor there. They did go towards Belgium with Burgundy as I wanted them to, but they did not support themselves into Belgium with the English Channel unit, which would have been better for me because then they would have taken Belgium. This is fine. Still, this is still basically what I wanted because Germany does not get the Belgium build, which would be bad. And while I would rather have France have it than that nobody has it, nobody having it is obviously never really bad for me. It's also fine, I guess, that France held out, like made sure that, I don't know. I think what they did with the fleet was just a mistake. Unless they really thought they had convinced England that they weren't going to take London and therefore that they could actually take it. It seems to me just like, obviously England was not just going to let London be taken, which means that this was inevitable. And now England is just in a better position to defend against France. England is obviously in a terrible position, but they're going to be able to hold their own against France for the foreseeable future, if not basically indefinitely. Yeah, I did not really talk with England at all. They actually finally answered me this turn. Like, remember last time they had not written to me at all. This time they did answer, we talked a little bit, but they were probably not really willing to work with me because it seemed like I was working with France, which, in fairness, I was. And I also kind of got a bit of a reputation, I guess, is the way to say it, from taking Tyrol. Austria did probably do a great job convincing people that this Tyrol move was evil Italy, and poor Austria is in trouble. So yeah, England was probably not very willing to work with me for those reasons. And that means right now that England, I don't really know what to do with them. I can't have them go against Germany. That seems unlikely that they'd ever agree to that. But having them basically stalemate France would be an issue, because that's gonna... I really tried looking into a few turns ahead on like how this fucking French, German, Italian front is gonna go. And it is possible I'm going to be able to hold Munich, which is the goal, but it's basically going to have to take 2 troops for me to hold Munich. And it's not like we're going to be able to continue pushing there. We are basically stuck now on this front, and that sucks. That sucks a lot. Because, holy shit, what the fuck has Russia done? My fucking god. Like, me and Russia, in our DMs, I like to think we have very cordial relations. Despite the fact that we can't help each other and haven't helped each other yet. I believe, I respect the Russia player, and I wanted them to do good, because at least I wanted to do not too bad, because I hoped and foresaw that we could work together against our common enemies. Kind of like I proposed in my original message. But what the fuck? Last turn it looked like they were gonna maybe lose both Romania and Sevastopol, and depending on their how they talk with Germany and England, they might not get Sweden or Norway either. So they were gonna lose like a center, and that would be all. But that did not happen. Whatever the fuck clusterfuck over here, like I have sat down and understood the exact orders, but this is insane. And the fact that, yeah, Germany was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit still in Denmark. Holy shit, that's huge for Russia. The fact that Britain was like, I'm gonna move from this ocean tile down is also huge. I have to think that Russia convinced Britain that they should get Norway. I have to think that. Or at least they maybe said something along the lines of, hey, you might as well not try to take Norway, because that's where my guy is going. He has nowhere else to go. So maybe try to use him against France. And maybe that worked. It's possible that Russia did something like that. But the fact that they managed to get Norway and Sweden, both of which could easily have been bounced with by no cost from either Germany or England, but they just let them take it. And the fact that Romania was kept and Sevastopol was kept. Wow, it's really good for them. They, as far as I can tell, they have 7 centers now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're gonna have 3 bills. They are in a great position, especially since, well, who does it look like they're working with? Well, Turkey, for one, wanted to support a Ukrainian unit into Romania. I don't even know what the fuck that accomplishes, I'm sorry, but that doesn't sound like Turkey was trying to steal either Sevastopol or Romania. They were just, yeah, I don't know, they had no issue with Russia apparently. And Austria is obviously also working with Russia, because Russia agreed to support them into Bulgaria, which, wow! First of all, great for Austria, but well played by Russia, because now if they got an ally from that, and they probably did, Austria seems like the type of player that would not ignore the fact that they got a Bulgaria for free because of Russia's help. Now Russia's probably safe from Austria. They're safe from Germany because Germany's way too fucking busy elsewhere. And sorry, and they already, as far as I know, like had an agreement to not attack each other, and Turkey's been completely neutered. Like, even if they are enemies, the Russian troops on the border with them is gonna be completely fine to hold them forever. So what the fuck do we do against Russia? Holy shit. I don't want to be the one that starts forming a coalition against them. But do I not have to? Do we not have to? I think I do need to talk to the... I have really no choice but to talk to both France and Austria about Russia. France obviously can't help anytime soon. But I don't know. Maybe if they help spread the idea that Russia is gaining too fast? If France correctly spreads the idea that the Western Front is a stalemate and that Russia is just going to be able to continue expanding into Germany and Great Britain, or maybe even Anatolia, maybe we can get players like Austria with us, but it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. Yeah. Turkey? Holy shit, Turkey got destroyed. This is really bad. This is really bad. As I mentioned last time, my entire game plan is around doing the gambit of moving a unit first to Tunis and then convoying it all the way from Tunis to Anatolia. That's good if there isn't a Turkey to take stuff from. But I don't know if there are. They are obviously now just extremely weak. They only have their starting centers. So if I ever attack them, it would have to be on basically their home field. And I don't know if I can do that. Especially since their unit got fucking destroyed. The unit in Bulgaria got fucking destroyed. Which you might be like, oh, that's good, one less Turkish unit. No, because it's winter time. It's about to be winter and they get to build. And despite the fact they haven't gotten a single fucking hub center, they get a build because they have only 2 units out and they have 3 centers. And where the fuck are they gonna build? Well, I can tell you where they're gonna build. It's gonna be in Smyrna, right? There's no way they're gonna build in Ankara. Okay, there's like a 10% chance to build in Ankara. And if they did, that'd be huge. We'd love that. But I don't think they will. And I also don't think I'm going to be able to convince them to do so. Because I can't think of a good argument why they would do that. Who are they pushing against? Russia? With 1 billion troops? Probably not. Austria? Who is outnumbering them and is going to have this fucking Balkan front on lock? I don't think so. I think Smyrna is just the best because then, well, from their perspective, hopefully they'll just be like, oh, I'll go into their GNC. And that will be... not great for us, but it'd be fine. But they might go to Smyrna and realize, holy shit, Italy's also attacking me. I need to stop them with this fleet. And that's probably the main thing this fleet is going to be able to do anyway. So I don't know. Despite the fact that my units went exactly as I wanted, I'm not happy with this turn at all. Because, yeah, I get to keep Munich, but it's a very tentative hold. It's gonna be tough to keep it, and the only way I can keep it is not only by actually making an enemy of Germany, which is probably also gonna make me an enemy of Britain, but I don't care about that part, but it also means that I have to rely on Austria, because I need to basically be like, hey Austria, I need to move a unit to Tyrol to defend Munich, basically forever. They might be enough of a role player to just be like, why, I don't want you to hold German lands, so why would I want you to do that? And it, you know, it isn't weird that be uncomfortable with having a unit just permanently stationed in Tyrol. But the second thing is that Austria gets 2 build this turn, and probably a build next winter. With their 2 builds, where are they gonna build? Well, if they build in Vienna and Trieste, and that's not that crazy, right? I am just fucked, right? I'm gonna really have to try to convince them that, hey, I'm still willing to work together. I think right now we need to worry about Russia. I'm gonna go into Anatolia to hopefully help you against Russia on that front. And while I will be building a unit in Venice, and therefore I will not be like offended if you build a unit in Trier and Vienna, I really do need you to build a unit in Budapest to show that Russia is your main problem right now. Because if you build a unit in Vienna and Trieste, well, where are they going? The only possible place they could go is towards Italy or maybe Germany. But even if you went against Germany, you would be building them in Vienna and Budapest, right? Yeah, it's really tough. It's really tough. I think it's going to be tough to keep Austria as a friend this turn. And not because I don't want them. I still want them as a friend. Because even though they got stronger than I wanted them to, yeah, that's the issue, right? I wanted Austria to help me fight against Turkey. But they have no need for that anymore. I think Austria right now would be smart if they were just like, alright, Turkey, I'm just gonna fucking sit here, try to push through. You can't. Okay, I move my rest of the shit somewhere else. And if that somewhere else is towards Russia, cool, that's fine. But if it's not towards Russia, it's towards me, and I'm just in trouble. Maybe they will continue to push against Anatolia, and because if Turkey defends itself properly, they're probably going to be able to defend themselves long enough for me to go in and swoop in and take a few centers, and then I'll be happy. It is possible that something like that happens, but oh my god, I don't know. I don't know. This is not great. This is not great. That I need Austria this much right now, and their reason for working with me is low. Yeah. It's a rough turn. Now, what are we gonna do? Well, I'm gonna build a ship in Naples and a unit in Venice. Why am I doing that? Well, oh my god, they even have I only just now realized that they still got their navy in Albania, which makes sense. But if Austria is planning on moving on me, this is just going to be a fucking huge turn for them to do it. Because they can still move the navy from Albania into the Adriatic. And how the fuck am I going to stop? If they move unit to Adriatic, one in Trieste, one in Vienna. I don't know. Then at least my fucking Turkey Gambit is gonna be on the floor. Okay, let's say Austria is planning on betraying me, and I will hopefully write to them this turn that, hey, I'm gonna be looking at the builds. If you build in Trieste and Vienna, I'm gonna have to think that you're attacking me. So if they do that, what am I gonna do with these builds? Well, this one in Venice is obviously nice to keep. This one in Naples could go to Apu, and this one in Ionian could go to Adriatic to make sure they don't get control there. Because if they don't take the Adriatic, then maybe it's gonna be it's gonna be basically impossible for them to push into Venice. But I'm just worried about, like, if that happens, I'm just not gonna be able to defend my unit in Munich. And, like, I did all this shit. I was so happy with my moves the first 2 turns. All that just for gaining 2 centers. Like, look at the bottom here. Like, I'm not saying Italy is in a terrible spot. I guess I'm in a shared 2nd place. But it's just, I just don't think it's enough right now. It's just not. Yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. To all the players, I'm still having a great time. Well played to everybody. Yeah. Let the die be cast, and let's see what happens in the future.